Hey guys, it's Melissa here, fellow member of YouTube for Agents, just like you. And I just want to share what I can about blogging and how to best incorporate your videos into blog posts so that we can make the most of both at the same time and get those leads, get that watch time up, and make money. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am in Maryland, a real estate agent, obviously, and I took a class, oh gosh, 4 or 5 years ago that was very similar to what Karen has been doing with YouTube, her YouTube course. The agent, it was a real estate agent who was doing exceedingly well with blogging and getting leads and turning them into commission checks. Her name's Lori Ballin. She's a very successful agent out in Las Vegas. And so I took her course. It was a course very similar to YouTube for Agents, where it was broken down into modules and, there were activities to do and steps to learn. So anyway, I took the course. I followed what was being taught in the class, and I've really learned how to up my blogging game, and it's working. I'm getting leads. I'm being found online. I would say in the past year especially, the majority of my clients have found me through Google searches. And it's all due to my blog. So I'm going to share the basics, what I can, so that you can not only incorporate your videos into blog posts, but most importantly, you do it properly so you can rank in the search engines. So I'm going to get out of my screen here for the blog. Now I do use Easy Agent Pro, which is what you see on the screen. However, if you don't have Easy Agent Pro, it's okay, because you're still going to be able to take most of this information and put it into the website that you do use. Now, speaking of websites, it's very important to understand that don't waste your time blogging and incorporating your videos into a blog on your brokerage website. All right. That is key. It's really important to have a third-party website. And I gotta be honest, when it comes to websites, I think you get what you pay for. Some websites are just more geared towards search engine optimization than others. Brokerage websites are not. And I learned this the hard way, if you put time and effort into your brokerage website and you switch brokerages, you lose everything. And you cannot copy and paste your blog posts from your brokerage website into a new website, because you're not going to get ranked. Google doesn't like that. So let's talk for a minute about what Google likes. I spend a lot of time studying the learning about their algorithm. Google changes its algorithm frequently. There's a guy named Neil Patel, P-A-T-E-L. If you aren't familiar with him, watch some of his YouTube videos. Go online, and you can subscribe to his emails. I get his emails. He is like a SEO guru. Most of his emails, most of his information is easy to follow and understand. Some of it's a little more technical, but great source of up-to-date information on search engine optimization and what you should do to keep up so you can rank. It's as simple as that. So your brokerage websites do not rank, ever. Something else you might want to pay attention to is look at other agent websites in your area. Do they have a blog? And if they do, most of it is canned, regurgitated information that is not only on their website, but it's on a zillion other websites. That information does not rank either. So here's what Google looks for. Google looks for original content that isn't going to be found on any other website. The Google algorithm pays attention to what people are searching for, which is where keywords come into play, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Google wants to provide the best user experience when somebody searches for a term in Google. So our job is to provide the content that we think people want to read, have Google recognize us as an authority, and have our content rank and our websites rank. So that's how it works. So anyway, I'm going to jump into the back end of my website real quick. Again, if you're not on Easy Agent Pro, you might want to skip through this initial part, although some of this will still apply. All right, so if you're on Easy Agent Pro and you haven't done this yet, you want to go to the top where it says apps. My internet's a little slow today. And you want to scroll down to Blogger Pro. And you want to go to settings. Now you'll see at the top it says enable. Do you want to enable the auto blogger on your lead site and get 2 posts per week? Yes. Turn it on if you haven't already. Next, post status. Have it saved to draft. And here's why. If you change it to published, it will automatically publish every twice a week when it comes out. Well, here's what happens. It's going to publish that blog post on my Easy Agent Pro website, Karen Carr's Easy Agent Pro site, Corey Dunphy's, and everybody else who has Easy Agent Pro. We're all going to get the exact same blog post, which Google doesn't like. So if you save it to draft, when you log in and you feel like blogging or you have some extra time, go into look at those draft posts. If it's something that you think you can build upon and add to, then do that. If it's a topic you're not interested in, you don't want it on your website, just delete it. All right, but this is a really good example of the importance of having original content on your blog post. You don't want something that has been distributed to many different websites, which is something that most broker websites do, which is why broker websites never rank. All right, let's get out of this and get into blogging. All right. Oh, something else real quick. Easy Agent Pro. Well, this is important for everybody. When you want to add photos to your website, you need to do SEO on those too. If you're on Easy Agent Pro, again, go across the top and click on photos. If you're not, whatever website you use, you should have this opportunity to do this as well. So I'm just going to pull up one of my previous, a picture that I have on my website. This one, for example. So I did a blog post recently and a video on flat fee listings. So this is an example of an image that I included into the blog post. You want to make sure when you add images to a blog that you add what's called alt text or alternative text. In this case, I just put flat fee house for sale. The alternative text is, imagine there's a blind person. The best way I can explain this, imagine there's a blind person who obviously can't see that photo. The alt text is how you would describe that photo to that person. All right, so it's not about, you don't want to put in your title. It's not anything to do with your keywords or anything like that. It's what is that a picture of? How would you describe that picture to another person? The other thing that's important to add, you can put a title if you want. That's not a bad idea. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on what I'm using the picture for. You also want to add a description in the description box of what the picture is. This is where you can add, and I encourage, add some keywords. Okay, and here's why. I'm going to show you a picture here. The other day, I was looking for I have a FSBO page on my website that's like almost 3,000 words. No, I did not write it all at one sitting. I started out as a really small post, and just over time I've added to it, added to it, added to it. And that's a really good thing to do with your blog posts as well. Go in from time to time and add extra wording to it, because Google will reward you. Google likes, again, they like everything to be very comprehensive to answer a question that a person has, or that they research in Google. Google wants all that information in one spot, in one blog post. So, with that being the case, you want your blog post also to be a minimum of 600 words. All right, that's super important. The more words, the better, but a minimum of 600. So anyway, I'm always trying to enhance my FSBO page. And I was just Googling some different things because I wanted to see if my page had changed in the rankings. And I noticed on the first page of Google, for my keywords I typed in, I scrolled down, there was these images. Well, holy moly, this first one is an image of my How to For Sale by Owner guide that I offer for people to download. And that's how I get their lead information. But this is just a picture of it that I use in a blog post as a lead magnet. I'll show you an example of that in a little bit. This next one, How to FSBO, is a really old Canva graphic that I created, oh gosh, several years ago, that I had put at the top of the blog post. And honestly, I think I don't like it. I wanted to take it out, but when I saw this here, I thought, well, I've got to leave it there, because Google is rewarding me by having both of my images here in the images. Now, the third one is not mine, but the first two are. And I was floored. And how did that happen? That's where the alt tags and the description come in, especially the alt tags. Key to helping your images, your pictures in your blog posts and on your website. It helps your site rank too. So isn't that kind of interesting? All right, I'm going to get out of this and get out of this stuff about pictures. So again, no matter what website you use, if there's blogging features on there, that you should find somewhere the opportunity to add those, to add alt text and descriptions and those things. Okay, and I need to get back to my site. All right, now let's talk about blogging itself and the components of blogging. I'm going to, here's an example. This is the back end of my blogging in Easy Agent Pro. Here example at the top is an example of one that auto-populated to mine and everybody else's, called Home Buyer, Can I Back Out If I Change My Mind? You can see right here, it's in draft status. That's how it uploaded. And I kept this one because I thought, you know what? This is a really good topic of something I could expand upon, turn it into a longer blog post in my own words, and it would be a great idea for a YouTube video. So this is also a really great way to get new YouTube ideas too, because let's face it, some weeks it's hard to come up with a new idea. So if you're on Easy Agent Pro, go in here to edit post so you can pull it up. Now, it's all WordPress based, and my understanding, I think most blogging platforms nowadays are WordPress based, including some of the brokerage websites as well. So if you're on Easy Agent Pro, near the top here, right under the title, let me find it. If I click above this, nope, stand by. Click these. I want to go over these three dots over here to block me. No, hold on. I was playing with this earlier. Oh, here we go. So I clicked on the image. These three dots come up right here. I want to switch to, hide block settings, and then I want to go back into show block settings, and over. All right, here we are. This is what I want. Over here is what I get. So WordPress has a couple different platforms, different ways you can blog. The one I prefer is called Gutenberg. It's their most recent, and that's what I was just trying to get into. And the reason I like this because every single little paragraph, what I need to access is right here on top. So otherwise, everything's at the top, and then as you scroll down, you lose it. And for me personally, I can control a lot of the stuff over here on the side, which I like. All right, so what is important to do here? I'm going to get into a different blog post and show you a real live example of something I did. All right, here's the one on flat fee listings, because I had incorporated that picture as my featured image, which I have over here, which I'm actually going to change. Sunny O'Malley brought to my attention this morning that for her, she uses her YouTube thumbnails as her featured image, because the featured image is when you preview it, when you publish it, your featured image is what shows up here on top. And I never thought about making it my thumbnail, and you can go into Canva and just edit it. There's an option for blog header. That's what you want to use. So thank you, Sunny, for sharing that tidbit. Okay, so the components that you absolutely need to include in a blog post are, number one, what's called a H1 heading. That is a key element of getting your blog posts to rank. So your H1, you're going to have a title. You're going to title your blog post, but then you also want to put either that same title or a variation of it as your heading at the top. This is like the title of your YouTube video. This is what it's about. All right. So in this instance, this is my title. Here's my H1 heading, because this, as you can see, my title is only going to show up here at the top. It's going to show up in the heading. So right below that, this is my H1 heading. And you can see right over here, it says H1. It also has it up here. This is your title. You want to make sure you incorporate your main keyword into this title. Very, very important. Now, speaking of keywords, I want to share something else that's really, that works really well for me. So I'm doing my keyword research. And let's say, I'm going to say, just because there's so many terms for it, how to sell a house fast. And we know, like, we wouldn't want to use that. There's a lot of searches for that. So when you go into keywords everywhere, you're going to see that it's not a great one to use in that format. But anyway, my point is how to sell a house fast. I will, once I pick my keyword and I research the search volume and find the right keywords that I want to use in keywords everywhere. You can do it in keywords everywhere, but I will go do a Google search, and I'll go down to people also ask. And I will see what they ask, and the ones that I think are relevant to what I want to blog about, I'm going to write those down. I'll also scroll down to searches related to how to sell a house fast. I'll choose those that I think are relevant, and I'll write them down. Now, you might want to add in your area, like I'm in Maryland, I might want to say in Maryland or in Carroll County to make it more of a long tail keyword. But anyway, this is what people are searching for in your area, not in the other side of the country, in your area. These are the terms and words you want to make sure you incorporate into every single blog post that you write. Because here's how, when blogging first started, keyword stuffing was what helped blog posts and websites rank. You just regurgitate and reuse the same keyword over and over and over in the same post. Google doesn't like that anymore because they want more of a user-friendly, comprehensive, big picture type of experience for the folks who are online searching. So if you incorporate these other things that people are searching for into your blog post, you have a greater chance of reaching more people. So that's huge, huge, huge. All right, so let's get back. Okay, so we have your H1. Personally, I typically will add my YouTube video when I have one right under that because I want to get people's attention. And I want them to click on that video before they start reading the blog post because I want watch time on my YouTube channel. And, you know, well, they might click through and end up paying more attention to your channel. At least they'll now know it exists. So under that, this is actually all transcription from this particular video. Then what I went in and did was I now had to go back and format the blog so that Google likes the blog. So, all right, so here's my H1, my main, what the post is about. All right, then sometimes you might want to put your intro above the video and then add your video. I do it both ways. It just depends on my post at the time and how much time I have. All right, so then you need to break down and add more headings. You only want one H1 heading per blog post, just one. Everything else after that is going to be an H2 heading or more. Now, what is that? It's like you have a book. The title of the book is your H1 heading. The names of the chapters are your H2 headings. And any subcategories in that chapter become subsequent headings. So, for example, in this one, my H2 heading was the top 3 benefits of using a flat fee listing service in Maryland. Because that's kind of like the chapter in this blog post. So then I have it broken down into the different benefits. Each one is now an H3 heading. All right, and then I have my little paragraphs. And you also want to keep your paragraphs broken up. You don't want your blog post to just be one long, without being broken up into sections. And that is because when it's more appealing to the eye when people land on your blog post. It's just easier. It's easier to read, and they're more likely to stay on there and read it when it's broken down like this. If this was just one constant long text without being broken up like it is, people would click on it and they jump off of it because they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that's too long," and that's just I don't have the time for that. So the goal is to break it up and make it look very appealing so that they want to stay on your page and read it. And then you can see, so I did the top 3 disadvantages, which became another H2. And then each disadvantage flipped to an H3. Now, after I did all that, something else you want to do that I have on here, you want to add at least 2 links in every blog post. Now, it could be a link to, if you have a similar blog post or page on your website, link to that. The goal is to keep people on your website as long as possible, because just like YouTube likes and rewards the videos and channels that have longer watch times, Google will Google rewards websites in a similar way that have a lot of view time and reading time. If somebody jumps on your website and jumps off because they didn't find what they're looking for, Google doesn't like that. But if somebody jumps on your website and they like your content, they're going to stay on your website, they're going to read your blog post, and Google likes that. So can you see the similarities? Because Google owns YouTube, as we know. So there's a lot of similarities between the two. And I'm a big, big believer that by incorporating our videos into our blogs, and also in your video descriptions, include a link to something, to your blog post. Include a link to the landing page on your website. So folks, the consumers are, if they're not on one, they're going to the other, and vice versa. It's going to immensely help us get found and get those leads. So in this one, my two links are my link to my YouTube channel, and I also linked to a landing page. Yes. So this is where now you need to have a call to action somewhere on your blog. I usually do it at the bottom because I want them to read the whole blog first and then get to the point where, ooh, she knows what she's talking about. Oh, look, she has a free guide that I can download. Oh, look, I'm going to click on this right here, and I'm going to get the guide. Now, I'm going to show you what happens, how I do it. It goes to a landing page. So if I get your free copy here, it goes to my landing page, which includes a video, a brief video, so that they can, are even more encouraged to download that guide, because I'm talking directly to them. And then when they click on download the guide, I get their name and their email address. And now they go into my CRM, and I will follow up with them and send them drip campaigns to try to nurture that lead. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, but and it is. But you know what? Honestly, for me, I'm finding it's worth it. And once you get that system in place, it's not that bad. All right. And then I also did, if you found this information helpful, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So they click on it, and hopefully it'll increase my subscribers. All right. So what are there's a couple other things that are really key to still do. You want to make sure that you have the featured image at the top, which again, I'm going to start just using my resizing my YouTube thumbnail, because I've already made the time to make it anyway, right? Canva, we love Canva. It's an option in there, so it's really a little bit of a time saver. And again, it will help make that connection between your blog post and your YouTube video, because they're going to look similar. The picture, your thumbnail, your header of your blog, they're going to be the same. It's just more and more consistency. Now, the final thing then you need to be sure to do is, let me find it here. Is now the SEO stuff that you still have to do for your blog post. Again, I'm using my example from Easy Agent Pro, because that's what I use. Hopefully, whatever platform you're using, whatever website provider you're using, somewhere in your system, you have the opportunity and the option to do this stuff. All right, so in this one, what's your keyword? For Easy Agent Pro, you need to type something in there, so you can get the rest of the data that you need. All right, so it's going to say how often your keyword was used. Honestly, I don't pay attention to this part because, again, it goes back. I don't want keyword stuffing. It's more important to me to have different variations of the same keyword so that no matter what somebody's searching for, Google's going to say, oh, her website, she has this blog post that I think that seems really relevant to what this person typed in for their search term. But you will, so don't worry about that. I don't worry about the keyword percentage either. What I do pay attention to, how many words my post has. This particular one has 1,408 words. I'm good with that because I need at least 600, and the more it has, the better it is. How many links? Again, you want at least 2 links. Well, I can see here I have those links. Google likes images. So I have 2 images. That's good. I have the image of, I added this woman because I needed an extra image. And I have an image. This is the cover of my home seller's guide, which all I did was I took the PDF of it, converted it into a JPEG, and uploaded it into the website. And here's a really good tip I want to share. Do you ever find it's a pain in the butt? You have a PDF and you wish you could put it in a photo form, or you have a photo and you wish you could convert it to a PDF so that you can upload it or email it out? You can. So there's a website called smallpdf.com, SMALL pdf.com. Let me pull it up real quick here. Hold on. It's free. I use the paid version only because you're limited to how often in an hour you can do stuff in here. If you have a file, let's say you get an agent emails you a contract and it's really it's too big of a file size, or you want to email something and it won't attach right because it's too big, you can go right here to compress the PDF. You upload it, you hit a button that says compress, bingo, it's compressed, you download it. You can, here you go, you can convert a JPEG photo to a PDF. You can convert a PDF to a JPEG. You can convert a PDF to a Word document. I love, here it is, small PDF. Again, I have the pro version. The free version's fine. I just, sometimes I don't want to wait an hour to be able to compress another document. That's the only reason I have Pro, and it's like really cheap too. So anyway, shout out to Small PDF because it's a great tool. Okay, so back to this. Your keyword in the URL, whatever keyword you are targeting that you've included in your title, you want to include that in your URL. So when you pick your slug for your URL, for your blog post, make sure you include your primary keyword or words in that slug. And it's not recommended to have a really lengthy slug. Really, it should just be 3 or 4 words. You also, again, you want to make sure you use your keyword in your title, which I did here, because if I didn't, it would let me know. You want to, what is the SEO title? This is the title that's going to show up in the Google search. And what is the SEO meta description? When somebody Google searches, does a Google search, and the stuff comes up, hold on. Here's a good example. I'm going to share. I have a blog post that ranks at the top. So, or a page on my website. How to for sale by owner in Maryland. Oops, I can't spell. All right, there it is. How to for sale by owner in Maryland. Going to Google search it. Now, this is interesting. So when I look at it today, and this is random, you can't plan for this, but this is a really good example of this this page that I've worked at really hard. I have right here. This is called see this, guys? This box. This is called a rich snippet, which you can't. It's how Google. It's just part of the Google algorithm, and they do it. And this time, it just surprisingly, amazingly, it showed up. So these right here, these step 1 through 8 are the 8 that you see here. These were all H2 titles in that post. This is why it's so important to include all these features I'm talking about into a blog post. So, and here's that picture. Remember I showed you earlier, and I'm like, oh, I really want to delete it because I don't like it. This is a good example of why I can't delete it. So it's here. If somebody clicks on this, guess where it's going? Now they're on my website. And now they can see, get a home valuation. They can see I have a blog. They can see, here's my YouTube video. I have a lot of call to actions in here, free checklist, another YouTube video. Actually, I did a series of YouTube videos on, I broke down this blog post and made a series of YouTube videos on how to for sale by owner. So I went back and I just actually published these videos a couple weeks ago. So I went back in and I redid some of this page on my website and incorporated the different steps, the different videos. So hopefully when people land on this page, and this page gets the most traffic of any page on my website, hopefully they'll click on watch some of these videos to go to my channel. So see, folks, this is why I think this is like the golden ticket for us to help maximize our YouTube videos and our YouTube channels and our websites too. So, and then here you go. Here's my guide. Here's that picture that also showed up that I showed you earlier under images. I have another, download the guide. Here's a link to an automated home valuation. I tried to incorporate as much as I could so that in some way, shape, or form, I can collect as many seller leads as I can. So I think that's about it. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. What I meant to show you, and I got sidetracked. All right, let's Google this again. How to for sale by owner in Maryland. All right. You know what? Because this showed up, what I'm trying to do is not going to show up. All right, let's try something else. Let's see. Here's another one that I know will show up. How to negotiate a home inspection in Maryland. Here we go. Look, here I am right at the top. #1 blog post. This is another one I did. So you might want, these are blog topics and pages for you guys too. Take these topics, make them specific to your area. If you're in a large city, I'm not in a large city. I'm not even in a very big county. So for some of these, I focus on more on Maryland because I cover, just because of where I'm located, I have a pretty big coverage area. And so here's my title. This was actually my SEO title. This is the meta description that I incorporated into this one. This is why it's important to have all that stuff, because this is what shows up. Now you can see my keyword. I know for a fact my keyword on this one, my main one, was home inspections. But because I did that Google search, I found what other terms other people are searching for. You can see what's highlighted here: Maryland, negotiating, home inspection. These are these things that are highlighted are a result of doing the search to see what other related topics, what other related phrases people are typing in when they do their Google searches, incorporating them into your blog post, and boom, when people search for something, this just increases the chances that no matter what they type into the Google search bar, your blog post has a better chance of being found. So really, folks, that's it. I know it's a lot of information, but that's the basics. And I'm sorry this kind of is long-winded and I went on, but that's how passionate I am and how much a believer I am in blogging and just incorporating blogging with YouTube. It's just silly not to do it because Google owns both. And I think it's going to help all of us rule and become rule our areas, because how many other agents in your area are doing this kind of stuff? And if they are, how consistently? Oh, here's one more thing I want to share. Speaking of consistency, for your websites and blogs, you don't have to do it on a regular basis like we know we need to do with publishing in YouTube. Set time every week. You don't have to do that with a blog post. What Google wants to see in general, and with our websites in general, is that it's kept up to date. Just go in, even if it's once or twice a month, go in and add a new blog post, or just find an old blog post and add to it, change it, modernize it, update it, add some extra paragraphs, add some new pictures, some links, landing pages, anything. Just make some changes. And again, a really good way to a good routine to get into, every time you publish a video, or do this, before you publish a video, before you publish a video, save your transcription and just import it into a blog as a new post. Just save it as a draft. And then as you have time over the course of the next week or the next 2 weeks, you're watching TV at night, is a lot of times when I do it, just go in and work on the editing, basically, of your blog post. Go in and add the headings and add links and add landing pages and add a call to action, and eventually you'll like it and it'll be what you want to be, and then just publish it. And now boom, you have a new updated piece of content in your blog on your website. Again, I'm sorry. This is like the first time I've done one of these screen record sessions, I guess as you will say. But I hope you found it helpful. Please, 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 if you have questions, I don't mind you asking me questions. I don't mind, because let's face it, we're all in this group together. We're all learning. One of the best things about this group is we're all so willing to help each other, and a bunch of you have helped me too and are continuing to do so in different ways. So I'm just trying to pay it forward so we can all just have many, many more success stories to share in YouTube for agents. So reach out to me. My number is 443-375-6631 if you want to call and chat. I don't mind doing a Zoom call. Send me an email. Whatever. Let's just all join forces and just keep rolling it. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks. I'm signing off.